I will readily give, and I shall come on to that very point later on in my speech. The government could choose, if it wished to seek to change the political declaration with the European Union. And it is the government's consistent failure to do that, because of its consistent failure to reach out across the House, that the government finds itself in the difficulty it has created today. But I shall return to that point a little later on. We cannot, Mr. Speaker, separate the withdrawal agreement from the political declaration, because both parts are essential to the process. It is like saying, right, I am selling the house I'm living in at the moment without having any idea whatsoever where we're going to live afterwards. And indeed, you would not have the withdrawal agreement without the political declaration. Article 52, that's 50 bracket 2, refers specifically, and I quote, to setting out the arrangements for its withdrawal, taking account of the framework for its future relationship with the Union. And as my honourable friend, the Shadow Solicitor General, in what I thought was a brilliant speech, quoted the statement of the Prime Minister on the 14th of January. And I'm just going to repeat one small bit of it. She said, "One cannot be banked," referring to the withdrawal agreement and the political declaration, "without the commitments of the other." And yet what this motion before the House today seeks to do is explicitly to try and bank the commitments of one without the commitments of the other. And I do not see how that can in any way be consistent with what the Prime Minister told the House of Commons on the 14th of January. Now, the second reason why I shall vote against it is, what are the consequences of passing this motion? Because the aim, and the Attorney General was absolutely frank about it, is to gain an extension to the 22nd of May rather than the 12th of April by satisfying the requirement of Article 1 of the European Council decision of the 22nd of March, which stated, in the event that the withdrawal agreement is approved by the House of Commons by the 29th of March 2019 at the latest, the period provided for in Article 53, 50 bracket 3 of the Treaty of the European Union is extended until the 22nd of May 2019. Now, the problem, and my intervention with the Attorney General was trying to address that, is that by the time, if we did pass this motion and got that extension, we get to the week beginning the 20th of May, if at that moment we have not yet resolved the question of our future political and economic relationship, and the UK decided that it needed to apply for a further extension, I would argue that the EU is almost certain to refuse any such extension on the grounds that we have failed to take part in the European elections. And that is because of paragraph 10 of the decision of the European Council, which said, again, and I quote, "If the United Kingdom is still a member state on the 23rd to the 26th of May 2019, which we would be if we asked for and were granted an extension beyond the 22nd of May, it will be under the obligation to hold the elections to the European Parliament in accordance with Union law. It is to be noted that the United Kingdom would have to give notice of the poll by 12th of April 2019 in order to hold such elections." Well, since it would be impossible on the 20th of May to give notice to hold elections on the 23rd of May, it would be impossible to comply with this requirement. And therefore, what this motion before the House today means is that if it were carried, it would in effect rule out any possibility of a further extension under Article 50 beyond the 22nd of May. So if at that point we have not reached agreement on the withdrawal agreement and the political declaration, then this motion would mean the UK leaving without a deal on the 22nd of May, and the House voted this week by 400 votes to 160 to reject for the third time leaving with no deal. The only other way forward would be to revoke Article 50 to buy ourselves a little bit more time, but the Prime Minister has repeatedly told the House that she would refuse to do so. I will give way.